Los Angeles, 1940s, a city where Hollywood dreams were woven under the blazing sun, but also where the shadows of despair and vice lurked. It was a sprawling canvas of ambition, painted with the bright hopes of countless young souls, drawn to its promise of fame and fortune. Among them was Elizabeth Short, a beautiful young woman who arrived in the City of Angels with aspirations of stardom. With her striking dark hair and captivating charm, she stood out, earning a nickname from her friends that seemed to capture her allure: the Black Dahlia. Little did anyone know that name would become forever tied to a horrific crime, a gruesome mystery that has haunted Hollywood and the public for over 70 years, its tendrils of darkness reaching deep into the very soul of the city. The dream dissolved into a nightmare on the cold morning of January 15th, 1947, in a desolate, weed-strewn, vacant lot in the Limerick Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. A local mother, out for a morning walk with her young daughter, stumbled upon what she initially thought was a discarded store mannequin. As she drew closer, the horrifying reality set in. It wasn't a doll. It was the body of Elizabeth Short. The sight was one of unimaginable brutality. Her corpse had been severed cleanly in half at the waist, her organs systematically removed, and her body drained of every drop of blood before being meticulously posed. The final, grotesque act of cruelty was a horrifying Glasgow smile, a deep gash carved from ear to ear, forever contorting her face into a macabre grin. It was a scene of such calculated savagery, so horrific in its execution, that even the most seasoned police officers who arrived on the scene had never witnessed anything like it. The discovery marked the beginning of one of the most intense and sensationalized manhunts in American history. The gruesome nature of the crime sent immediate shockwaves, not just through Los Angeles, but across the entire nation. The press descended upon the case with a ravenous hunger, and the city was gripped by a mixture of terror and morbid fascination, capitalizing on her enigmatic beauty and penchant for dark clothing. Newspapers quickly dubbed Elizabeth Short the Black Dahlia, a name that echoed the noir films popular at the time and perfectly encapsulated the blend of glamour and tragedy surrounding her. The moniker, first mentioned in connection with a 1946 film called The Blue Dahlia, stuck, forever cementing her identity in the annals of true crime. The sheer brutality of the murder, the victim's youth and beauty, and the tantalizing lack of clues quickly transformed the case from a police investigation into a full-blown urban legend. The media frenzy was unprecedented. Hundreds of people, seeking their own 15 minutes of fame, came forward with false confessions. Thousands of leads were meticulously followed, from the seediest bars in downtown LA to the most glamorous Hollywood parties. But each one led to a dead end. The Black Dahlia became more than a victim. She became a symbol of enigma, a haunting specter of unexplained evil that cast a long, dark shadow over the city's sunny facade. As investigators desperately tried to find her killer, they began to delve deep into the fragmented and transient life of Elizabeth Short. Her story was one of hardship and restless wandering, effectively orphaned by her father, who faked his own death when she was just a child. She endured a difficult and unstable upbringing, This early trauma set her on a nomadic path, drifting from her home in Massachusetts to Florida, and eventually to the promised land of California, always searching for stability, love, and a better life that remained just out of her grasp. Her life in Los Angeles was a whirlwind of brief encounters and fleeting relationships. She had many boyfriends, from military servicemen to aspiring actors and small-time hustlers. The investigation scrutinized each one. Was the killer a jealous lover she had scorned? A powerful Hollywood figure she had crossed? Or was it a sadistic stranger, a predator who saw her as an easy target and stalked her from the shadows? The police files swelled with theories, suspects, and whispered rumors. But no matter how many pages were filled, investigators could not reach a definitive conclusion. Her life, once lived in the obscurity of diners and cheap boarding houses, was now dissected under the relentless glare of public scrutiny. The web of potential suspects was vast and bewildering, a rogues gallery of characters seemingly pulled from a Raymond Chandler novel. Men from every walk of life were questioned and investigated. One prominent suspect was Dr. George Hodel, a respected Los Angeles surgeon with a reported dark side and connections to surrealist art circles. Decades later, his own son, a former LAPD homicide detective named Steve Hodel, would build a comprehensive case, arguing that his father was not only the Black Dahlia-esque killer, but a prolific serial murderer. Other theories pointed to men with medical training, given the surgical precision of the bisection, or to various individuals Elizabeth had been seen with in the days leading up to her death. Every lead, however promising, ultimately dissolved under scrutiny, lacking the conclusive piece of evidence needed for an arrest. The Black Dahlia case became a relentless chase with no end, a labyrinth of conspiracy theories and plausible suspects, each one adding another layer of complexity to an already impenetrable enigma. The killer, it seemed, had vanished without a trace. Over 70 years have passed since that grim January morning. Generations of detectives have inherited the case files, and countless authors and filmmakers have tried to unravel the puzzle. Yet the murder of Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, remains officially unsolved. The killer is still free, or more likely, has died, taking their dark secret to the grave. Her story endures as a chilling and cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the dark underbelly of the Hollywood dream and of the unspeakable brutality that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most glamorous cities. The Black Dahlia is not just a name from a forgotten headline. She is a ghost haunting the collective consciousness of Los Angeles, an unresolved mystery that refuses to fade, an eternal and tragic icon of American true crime culture. Her face, frozen in time, continues to gaze out from old photographs, her eyes holding a secret that may never be told.